Hello, ladies. It is such an honor to have you. We have Organized Jane coming from Canada. So awesome to be able to have you share this space with us, Jane. And then we have Jody here as well. Jody, you're in Florida, right?
That's right.
It's so good to be able to have each of you share this space. And we're talking about how to optimize your energy. And this whole topic came about because moms, this was one of the number one topics that came about. How do we optimize energy? How do we get more energy? I feel like, I can't keep up. And so I said, this is a great opportunity for us to just have a coffee chat. Yeah. Are you all available to have a coffee chat this morning?
100%.
You have your coffee?
I do.
Oh, great. I'm a tea drinker, so I'm drinking my tea. You all have your coffee. And we're going to just have some cool dialogue today about energy. So we have a couple of questions that came in. So ladies, if you could just join me, if you pull a question and throw them at me, and let's get the conversation rolling.
Yeah, so when I first heard about this topic, when I hear about Energizer, and I think about the Energizer bunny that just keeps going and going, and it stresses me out a bit. And this is a question that comes in because I feel like this is what life expects of me. It's just the expectations of working moms. We always have to be going. There's always more, but is there a better way?
Ah, great question. And I will say this, yes and yes. Yes, there is a very high expectations on moms. I love the visual of the Energizer bunny because this whole series is called Energize Me, Energizer Mommy. And so, yes, I think that's what we look like a lot, Jane, is that we're constantly going and going and going nonstop. And that is exactly what our kids expect of us, be honest, right? Our husbands, for those of us who are married, our spouse, expect of us, relationships, the boss, if we're in corporate world, whatever our clients, our customers, they expect for us to be at our best. I mean, everybody is expecting this of us. So absolutely, yes. And yes, is there a better way? I'm glad to say that there is. There is a better way. And I think that the ability to be able to manage your energy is the way in which you can give and give and give, just like a cell phone. A cell phone's giving and giving and giving and giving when we need it. But guess what we have to do with that cell phone? We have to recharge it. Even the cell phone. So it's managing the energy. We're managing it. We're helping that cell phone manage it, and we can do the same thing. So I look forward to talking more about what that looks like as we're together. So yes, there is a better way. That's the short answer.
Good.
I have one. Can I go next?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Can you offer a time management hack that would save me more energy?
That's a good one for Jane eventually. But let me just correct this one thing. The answer is no, because I really don't focus on time. For me, in my content and what I teach is energy management. So I don't really have any time management hacks for you, but I'm hoping that as you're listening to this, that you can get energy management, because time is played out. That's what's been taught by so many productivity gurus, and how to manage your time. And when you position yourself in that space, what you do is you invite lack in, because you invite that mindset of, I don't have enough time, right? And then now it's just chase for time. And when you don't have enough, now it's like you say things like, oh, there's not enough time in a day, or I wish there was more time in a day. Can you all relate? I used to say that too, right? Yes. But now it's like time is this lack of this resource that we don't have enough of. Well, when we move from time management to energy management, it frees us from that mindset and allows us to walk into a different, more abundant mindset of energy management. We are energy, yes. From a scientific standpoint, everything around us is energy. So there's an abundant flow of energy. So we want to stay in that space of abundance. And so the real question then would be is, how do I better manage my energy? And with that, there's 3 ways in which you can do that. And I talk about this in my book. And I know that we're short on time because we want to keep these coffee chats at like 15 minutes. So, but just know that there is a way. It's called slow flow, low flow, and peak flow. This is the 3 flows that everybody moves within. And once you have an understanding of those 3 elements, those 3 flows, and you identify that for yourself, because it's different for everyone, then you're able to manage and do it and organize the things. Organize Jane.
Yeah,
then organize those things that you have to get done in a day in which your normal flow would be, right? And that's how you successfully manage your energy. That's the hack for you.
Interesting, because I hear a lot of people talking about how depleted they are, and I bet that comes right along with energy management versus time
Absolutely.
management.
Of course. Absolutely.
Interesting. I
Mhm.
can't wait to learn more.
For those who are listening, I want to say this because I don't want to continue these on. I know someone's listening for the first time. If a friend shared this with you, tell them thank you. I'm so glad that you've been a part of our community now. You see, I'm inviting you into the community already. But I am Dr. Manisha White, and I am an impact coach. I teach women how to live and lead differently. I love doing that. Does it take work? Absolutely. But if you're a woman that wants more out of life, you know, you don't want just an average marriage. You want the best marriage. You want an impactful marriage. You don't want just an average connection with your children or even your customers from a business standpoint. Then that's what we do in this community. It's a perfect blend of business and life and inspiration. And so if you're just listening, that's what we're doing. And we're having a coffee chat with the beautiful Jane and Jody. Jane is in Canada right now. Jody is in Florida. And we're having some good girlfriend talk about how to optimize our energy. So any more questions? What's the next question that someone kind of threw in here that we can answer today?
I was asked about the power of meditation. Can we get into that?
Sure. Okay, so I believe there is a huge power in meditation, and I will even go on to say that there's a superpower in meditation. Right? I think that's even more appropriate. Do you all meditate, Jane? Do you meditate?
Yes. Yeah.
You know, to me, especially when you hit a certain level in life, it's almost like I can't see how I could have done life without meditating. Right?
Good point.
It allows you to tap into that other dimension, that dimension where everything exists, where everything is already yours. And it's just a matter of you owning it, receiving it, accepting it as yours. And so that's what meditation allows you to do. It even clears out those blocks that happens because life begins, it sends out millions of messages to us through marketing and social media and all this stuff. And it's this huge clutter that is happening. And meditation is just like a shower for the mind, right?
Ooh, a nice warm hot shower.
Like, oh yes, I meditate every day. I don't know about you. Sometimes I may shoot in another, a couple of times a day. But especially if you're a mom, man, you get value out of 5-minute meditation. You just say, hey, gotta break away. Mom's, breaking away and put your earbuds in. That's the best, the best effect. And you have the earbuds and just be. It just pull away. It's almost like when you were little girls, so you can get underneath like that secret space, whether it's in the clubhouse or that little spot.
With the flashlight in the book.
Yeah. Yeah, where nobody really sees you, you're hiding away. It's like that as an adult, it gives you that press pause. Or even like, you all remember the classic Dorothy where she clicks her heels,
Yep.
you just click your heels and you're in a different place. I mean, we have that power.
We do.
We have that power, and I think we don't use it enough.
Yeah. I remember when we first met, we were talking about schedules and when was the best time to connect and that kind of thing. And you invited me to actually share what times I was not available because I was taking care of me. And that I was able to say, mornings are not good for me. I take a good morning practice, and it includes daily meditation. And I have found that if I don't do that, my whole day is just off in some kind of way.
Absolutely.
So you gave me permission to really stand up and share. This is how I take care of me today. And this is how I get myself to a place where I can show up fully.
Exactly. And I ask people that often but for a lot of people that don't know, it gives them that opportunity to ask myself, what is my peak time and what don't I want to be interrupted? And I oftentimes allude to an example that I love when we call the doctor's office for our kids or we're scheduling something for ourselves. And we call there and we say, hey, I have an appointment. I have some dental work I need done, whatever the case may be. And they say, oh, well, let me look. And they're looking at the doctor's schedule and they're saying, oh, we have a 5 o'clock and 11 o'clock available, and if you say, oh, that doesn't work for me, they'll wait politely until you can figure it out and how to fit it. You either fit it in this spot or they'll say, well, I have a Wednesday or Thursday available. Am I right?
Yeah.
They're finding but we don't do that. We don't
Right.
do that for ourselves, and it makes so much sense in business, but then when it comes to ourselves, what do we have available? We're allocating. Goes back to organizing, where we're organizing our day, and we have this certain amount of money, time, because time is money, allocated. And if it fits, I'm sorry. If it doesn't, I've already allocated that time slot. I have this and this available if that works for you, and you say it with a smile, and that's all a part of boundaries, Jody. At the end of the day, that's what it's about.
And I don't have kids running around me. I can do this whenever I want. So Jane, how I see kids running around behind you over there. How do you fit it in?
They're my niece and nephews. I don't have kids yet either, but someday. But again, I really like when you mentioned clutter too, because a lot of us, when we're meditating, clutter is not just what we see in front of us, but it's our emotion. The mental clutter is what's really impactful. And a lot of people are asking today, how do we get rid of that mental clutter? We're constantly distracted, from digital clutter on our computers to, so many distractions on a daily basis. So the physical clutter, the mental clutter, and digital declutter, I think it's all important when we meditate to get rid of all of those, not just one or the other.
Oh my God, I love that.
Digital clutter.
Oh, that's the worst. And
can we tweet that?
The most
clutter.
The most questions I have asked about our photo organizing, email clutter. When we're on the computer, we're already bombarded with so much clutter. So now digital clutter, I think, is becoming harder to deal with than actual physical clutter in your space.
Oh my God, that is brilliant. And with mental clutter and digital clutter, they all trigger emotional clutter.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yes.
A lot of us are even scared to open our emails in the morning, or even our computers now. We can't find things. So it's becoming a real issue.
Yes. And can you imagine the stress, even the little stressors that are associated with that can easily tie to then health?
Exactly.
And that's what we talk about when we talk about the full life harmony, is that it's all playing. It's all like a domino effect. Everything is affecting another thing. And like I share with moms, everything you do matters. Everything. Yeah. Every single thing you do matters. And when it comes to, just like you said, the clutter, I call it visual noise, because if you imagine waking up in the morning and you have this sound just like alarming in your ears, because it's everywhere. Like you said, it's in your computer, it's around you in your space, it's in your business life, in your personal life. I mean, can you imagine what life must be like for the average, person, trying to be able to accomplish their goals, their dreams, and their tasks in an environment like that?
Yeah. You can't. you need to get rid of the clutter. Yeah. I really think my Instagram post yesterday was where clutter is, success cannot breed.
Wow.
So it's really one of those things about getting rid of the clutter and getting clear on what you need. Going back to goal setting, creating those boundaries so you don't let the clutter in. It's all kind of a circle.
I love your quotes, Jane. I don't know if you even know this, but if you were part of our e-club, you would have noticed it in this July, this last newsletter, I quoted you because you have such the coolest quotes.
I see that? Oh,
yes.
Man, I got to go back and look.
I saw it. Yeah, it's great.
So every quarter we try to quote what you will hear me call an expert entrepreneur. Jane is not just an expert entrepreneur. Jody is not just an expert entrepreneur, but they are expert entrepreneurs inside of a coaching platform. So everything that we're talking about is actually designed in a group coaching experience that you can take online at the leisure self-pace of your own home. It's so powerful to be able to take those courses. They're really short segments, and it's a really quick little application that goes along with it, so that it does life with you as you grow and transform into your best self. And so we talk more about that definitely in the platform. But if you're not a part of the e-club, please join. There'll be more of Jane, there'll be more of Jody inside of that platform, talking from an emotional standpoint, Jody, and how everything affects emotionally, and how our mindset and what we believe and how that impacts us emotionally is carrying out and showing up in the way we live, is showing up in how we run our business, is showing up in our children. Let me say this to all the moms. Let me pause for a moment here and say this, that when it comes to your children, you can create them, right? And you can put all these visualizations of what you want your kids to be, but you can only produce who you are. And so when you see things, you can create whatever you want, and put it on your vision board and all these other things that we're doing now. but you can only produce who you are. And I really want that to resonate with moms, especially because it's not something that you can make up. It has to come from an authentic place. And so if you're not living and leading differently, then it's going to show up in your babies. And then you'll be wondering why when they get out of college or, you know, and they do making these choices and, you know, even the little choices, raising their voices. I'm just have a transparent moment, you know. I told my daughter a couple of years ago before I, you know, found self-control at another level. That's a whole nother love thing. But, you know, you raise your voice. And now I heard her talking to her brother and she'll get frustrated. The first thing she'll do is raise her voice. Yeah. And I had to come to her and own it first and say, you know what, baby, you're doing that, sweetheart, because mommy taught you that. And I'm so sorry. Would you forgive me? You know, and that was a motivating force for me to be able to work on that inside myself, because I didn't want that to show up. And then I had to ask myself, why was I doing that? What was it? It was fear-based at the end of the day, Jody, speaking to emotions. Yeah. It was fear, you know, if they were doing, whether they were getting hurt or whether I felt like whatever it was doing, it was a fear, and it was triggering the voice, you know? And so I had to do the work to figure out what that was showing up in my baby. So that, I don't know what, that wasn't supposed to be in there, but I know we're talking about energy management, but that is a form of energy, because listen, when you're putting that in the house, that's energy as the wife, as the mom, and that's powerful. Your environment. And then your kids are doing it. So that's the energy that you're welcoming into your space.
Yeah. And what I hear you describing is that mompreneur that's managing it all in that home setting 24/7, they're modeling every minute of that 24 hours for their children. Absolutely. How to live life and how to get through the rough spots. We all have rough spots go on. We all have emotional triggers that happen. And so you're raising my awareness that modeling and cultivating that environment of the home setting. And I love how you use that word harmony instead of balance.
Absolutely. Yes. People use balance a lot, and I'm just like, because it gives this fallacy of, can you really do that? Can you really take your work and your life and everything that you love and balance it on the same level? You know, it's a fallacy. And so really what you want to do is you want to blend. You want to blend it, just like if you were making a cake and you're stirring all the ingredients. Work isn't good by itself. You know, building your best business isn't good by itself. Having family isn't just kids around you 24/7 isn't healthy by itself. It has to blend. Eggs by itself, raw.
Ew.
Good. You know?
Flour by itself. Ew.
Isn't good, right? It's when you blend it that it makes a beautiful cake. It's the blending of it. And that's what the message is all about. Showing women how to blend, how to harmonize. And really, I get this. How do you do that? What does that look like? Well, in the time frame that we have, I'm just going to say it like this. It's blending congruent task, right? You're taking something mindless and you're taking something meaningful, you know, and you're blending them together. So you'll take something like walking with your daughter, that's meaningful, and something mindless like walking. You do that without thinking. So you're getting your exercise in, right? Touching on health, and then you're spending quality time with your daughter. You're maybe listening to your audiobook, doing something meaningful while doing something mindless, folding clothes, right? Jane is like that, cleaning out your closet.
No, I like that.
Organized, meaningless, you know, meaningful rather, and mindless. Meaningful, mindless. And you make them congruent. And that is how harmony begins to stimulate itself. And it creates an energy, you ladies. It's the energy that breeds confidence. Let me tell you, you know the feeling you get when you get something done? You know, whether you did that workout you really didn't want to do, or you were able to get that room clean. You made up your bed. Sometimes making up your bed is that task that's just drudgery sometimes. Some days, you know, and you get it done. And you look at it, you're like, wow, it stimulates you. It creates an energy of affirmation, of confidence, that gives you that momentum to keep, you know, going. That's the type of energy that you want. And you want to maximize that in your peak state, which we'll talk about. Yeah. You know, we'll talk about when time allows.
So much to talk about.
Yes, it is, isn't it? So do we have any other questions? I know our time is starting to come to an end. I think we have room for maybe one more question or one final statement before we have to have to transition out. We're hoping that these 15-minute coffee chats is really going to, add value to you. If there's something that you're listening to today that's resonating with you, please comment below on this video if you're able to. If you're watching this through YouTube, if you've gotten this as a gift or someone shared this video with you, let us know. Comment. Let us know any questions that you have about optimizing your energy. You want more answers on that, then don't hesitate to inbox us and join our e-club so that you can get more content.
Jane, I think you were talking something the other day about being chased by the clock and something around that mid-afternoon slump. Were you talking about that?
I might have been. The time management thing is a big one for me because I like how Manisha said it. There's so many time management gurus out there, and time is our most important asset, but we're constantly fighting on how to be more efficient, get more focused. But I like how you related it back to confidence, back to energy, back to you can be as focused as you want, but if you don't have the energy, you're not going to get the most output. So starting your day, I always say organizing your life to your business should be organized in a way that's efficient and you're confident. Starting with your closet, if you're organized, if you feel good in what you're wearing, if you don't waste time worrying about what you look like, you show up and you're confident. And I think that is more time saving than going to a productivity class or anything else.
Oh, so true. So true. So much fun things to come, ladies. Jane is going to go more in depth on another 15-minute power hour that we're going to have, or power hour, but power 15 minutes power segment where she's talking more about that and how to organize that. And we have something called the Empower Me, where we're going to be talking through how do you properly influence the people that are in your sphere of influence. How do you get people to do what you need? Because that has a lot to do with managing your energy, right? Leveraging the people around you. Because if you're doing all this judgery, minuscule tasks, then it's draining the life out of your energy. And then the time that you need to be more creative and to think, you can't do that because you're too busy doing these low-level tasks, is what I call. You want to be delegating those low-level tasks, and you want to be automating, right? Automating 95%, delegating 5%, so that you can be in your sweet spot. And so we'll talk more about how you optimize that. But that is the key. That's the secret sauce. Delegate. And I know there's a whole issue when it comes to delegating, because now it deals with trust. How do I delegate? I try to delegate, but there's a way in which you delegate. And we'll be talking more about that in the Empower Me 15-minute power segment. So hopefully you all can continue to follow us. Again, I will continue to send the invite as much as possible. Join the e-club, get connected. We look forward to talking with you and connecting with you soon. Ladies, any final words before we head out?
Just can't wait to do it again.
All right. That's it. Awesome, ladies. So glad to have you all. Thank you all for listening, and look forward to seeing you on the inside of the Facebook community. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.